What's up guys? So some of you may know I'm currently living in Norway, so let's get some Norway content on the channel. Earlier in the year I decided I wanted to explore the local area and push myself to complete a long ride, as I hadn't done anything big for months. Also it's situated at the northern end of a fjord, which is a huge inlet of the sea, and I thought it would be a cool idea to do a loop of the coastline, because you know, I love loops. By following the water's edge somewhat as close as possible and taking the southernmost ferry crossing, it seemed like it would be about a 300-kilometer round trip. This was right in the ballpark of the distance I wanted to test myself with. The highest point of the trip was only about 150 meters. There weren't any massive climbs, but the ones that were on the route were steep and there were plenty of them. So I just set up my bike, bought some food supplies, and got on the road. It's sure to be an interesting adventure, but first I had to escape the city.
Then redispatched, reattached to the source.
We're currently 50k into a fjord loop, an Oslo fjord loop. That's Oslo right over there, and we've basically gone from the east south, and now we're up on this big peninsula, and we're going to turn back south again and follow the outline of the fjord, which is actually the sea, but it's a very calm sea because it's very inland. Trek checkpoint ALL5 in a single speed mode. I'm just feeling so fast because I just switched over this morning, last night actually. It's my first ride with this tyre. I had a 1.3 kilogram studded winter tyre on the front, and now I've got this 450 gram sort of, it's not very slick, but to me it feels incredibly fast. But we're gonna have a quick break. We smashed it quite fast. We've done 50k in about 2 hours, and I've got a nice treat in here. Let's see what we got in the bag. Yep, we got a load of chocolate chip cookies. 4 packs of 12. What does that make? 48 cookies. It's about 2,500 calories. That should see us through. What's up guys, we're currently 80 kilometers into this loop. We're heading down the coast for about another I don't even know how far down the coast we're going. And then we're actually going to be heading back along this side. I'm not sure if we're going to be riding on that exact bit or if the road's slightly inland, but we're going to be over there in about 100 and something kilometers time. I'm listening to a playlist which I had when I was cycling around Australia, so it's bringing back a lot of good energizing vibes. I'm going to try and keep the pace up because it would be kind of cool to finish this quickly and not get back at like 5 a.m. You know, getting back around midnight, 1 a.m. would be pretty cool. Start at 10 a.m. so, you know, 14, 15 hours. We'll see if my energy starts fading. I don't know. I have a lot of cookies in that bag though, so jump back on the bike and get this ride done. Let's get to the ferry, then we can have a half an hour break on the ferry. Easy. The hills suddenly seemed to disappear, and the last section of the ride down towards the ferry was finally easy. However, I felt like I was dying for something to drink due to the heat. Norway doesn't have tons of stores in the countryside, so I was counting down every meter to the next town with an open shop. Okay guys, I underestimated the heat. I've been used to riding around in 0 degrees Celsius, and now it's like 25 degrees. I definitely underestimated water, and so I got some nice cold drinks, a nice cold orangeade. 105 kilometers in 5 hours, which is pretty good for the hills. A few more kilometers to the ferry, and it's free for bicycles and foot passengers. And then we start the ride north, and then south, and then north, because we're kind of following the squiggles of the coast. I would say I'm feeling good, but some of these real steep kicks now are getting pretty hard because of being dehydrated in the heat. Whew. It is so strange to go from like 0 degrees, 5 degrees, and then suddenly it's just like hit hard, like 20 plus degrees. But I mean, it's awesome, but I just need to remember, you know, I need to drink. I don't really drink much when I ride, but I need to drink. So I'm gonna drink. Yeah, it's free to get on, yeah? Yeah, of course. Thank you. Okay guys, it's like an ubereats delivery video. I'm in a lift on a ferry, on a boat. We're going across the fjord, and then we're going up the west side back to the city. Got some biscuits and some water to drink. It's a half an hour crossing, and then we get riding again. Oh wow, we're already moving. I didn't film any of the ferry ride because time was precious, and my mouth could only fit so many cookies in it at once. I was soon off the boat and rolling again. After one long climb, it felt like I hit some sort of plateau, and a stiff tailwind was now pushing me on. Right guys, a quick face-to-face update. We had the ferry, we had an awesome tailwind, then we turned south, had a not so awesome headwind. Now we're heading back north again. We're in the shade from the sun, it's feeling good, out the heat a little bit. There's another ferry right here, which is just about to leave by the looks of it. And that land you can see there is actually the other side of the fjord. And to get to that bit of land, you have to do about, I'm gonna say 60 or 70 kilometers up and then back down the other side. And because we're not slackers, we're not gonna take this ferry. It's also Norway's shortest ferry. It's only a 5-minute crossing. I was feeling pretty rough going into the headwind. I had a few cramps in my left leg. There was a couple of steep kicks as we ran the end of the peninsula. And there goes the ferry with seemingly no one on board. The sun's going down. You guys know that I like it when the sun goes down. Let's get to that piece of land. It's going to take a few hours. Oh. Right, we are 190 kilometers in. Just had a little servo stop here at Circle K. We've that's a little glitch there. We've gone along the edge, and now we've got this one last peninsula to go here. It should be about 100 kilometers here back to Oslo. Hoping it's not too hilly. It doesn't look too hilly from like the what do I say, the way the road is laying on the land, but we'll find out when we get there. I just had some paprika Pringles and a bowl of water, and I'll be taking some sweet chili peanuts, a Coke for when the going gets tough, and some more water. Feeling sleepy. The sun is about to set. The sun's gonna set. I think the sun's actually setting, well, yeah, in about 10 minutes. We got a front light, we got a back light, and we got an extra base layer to put on, and some gloves and a neck buff. It shouldn't be too cold as long as I keep riding as well, and we're not like going into like the mountains, and we're south of Oslo, so it's a little bit warmer, but it's daunting to see that huge leg south I've got to do again, which I just rode north to do, to go past the ferry again. But once I'm to that tip, and once I turn north, then it's just, you know, it's like straight home from there. So I'm feeling cold, but I think it's just because in this servo, it's like they got the aircon blasting for some reason. So I'm hoping actually when I go outside, I'm gonna get this nice, you know, boost of warmth. But it's Norway, so maybe that won't be the case. So this is what happens when you don't plan routes. Look like we could get through here. You know what? Maybe we can. It just looks a bit, you know, weird. It looks a bit industrial. A little bit of an adventure as well. A little bit of gravel. And if you get shot for trespassing, then it just makes the video better. I'm just hoping I can get through the other side. It'd be really annoying to ride a kilometer or two down here just to have to turn back and then ride on just the other side of that railway track. Holy, that looks awesome. I need a picture of that. You! I love the rocks. Guys, Norway, bruh. Oh. Holy moly! Look at what's behind. Look at this. I'm not making very good progress down this bit of road because I keep getting distracted by the views. But we're on this coast, we're on this coastline for, right on the edge of the coast for quite a while. So I'm going to be looking back at that, relaxing, and then once we're around the top of the peninsula, we're smashing it back. I reckon I've got about 80 k's to go. I wasted quite a lot of time taking photos and looking at the sunset. The temperature's dropping off, so it's time to put on the thermal layer I brought, because I don't want to get too cold, especially as we might have a few more hours to go. I've also got gloves as the sort of like last resort. Put those on if I get real cold. I don't like putting everything on straight away. I want to have something in reserve just in case it gets real chilly. I came up with this idea yesterday, by the way. Last night, less than 24 hours ago. Sometimes I feel like it's good when you have an idea, just get it out immediately and do it. If you think about an idea too much, you kind of get rid of the motivation to do it. There we go, guys. Let's stay warm and finish this freaking ride. It was now dark and cold. A few more steep climbs tested my weary legs, but at least the roads were smooth. That is, of course, until in my tiredness, I missed a turn, and instead of retracing my steps, I stupidly decided to take my chances on a shortcut, which ended up being a gravel road. The road seemed so extreme in its undulations that I had to give up pedaling and get off to walk up the climbs. I thought I was probably going to crash at any moment on the bumpy descents, especially given the darkness, my tiredness, and my lack of off-road experience. One last unrideable steep section had me push my bike up the hill, but then it was back to the smooth open road again, with a fantastic descent down to the fjord. Oslo is now within my sights. After battling the cold, more hills, possessed deer, and an incredibly frustrating bicycle route coming into the city, I eventually got back at almost 3 AM. A bit later than I had hoped, but sometimes things don't always go to plan. I was happy to have completed a circumnavigation of the fjord, as it felt like I had got some true bearings to the new area where I was living. But this came at the cost of being completely drained of energy. Time to upload to Strava. Go follow me. Yeah, we're on the second lake, and there's another lake coming up, and that might be where I sleep. Maybe it's not, maybe I just keep walking into the night. But yeah, I'm really loving this. I'm really loving how chill it is. Let's just